on this computer. All right, so good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to go over this with you today because earning the incentive trip is something that I really love to stress to people, that like you don't have to be at my level to earn a trip. Like I actually went through today and I was like, okay, let me pull up like my qualifications. So for those who don't know me, my name is Karen Wilson. I am leader of the Fearless and Flameless family. I have been with Scentsy. It will be 4 years at the end of October. I have earned 3 trips now with Scentsy, one of which I actually got to go on, which was the best trip of my life. Like they don't mess around on these trips. And like, sorry, I'm like, I just got out of the shower and I probably should have dried my hair, but you know, since I'm uploading this to YouTube, I might as well have wet hair all over the place. So yeah, so it's typically said, you know, that once you go on a Scentsy incentive trip, you will never ever want to miss one. And that is absolutely true. Like I can't even tell you the crazy stuff that they did in Marco Island when we were there. I'm sure many of you saw everything that happened, you know, with the Disney trip that everyone, well, at least the Americans were able to go on because it was within their country. And again, because we weren't able to attend, Scentsy did give us a cash payout for those in Canada who weren't able to cross the border. So keep that in mind as well, even because I know things are up in the air right now. If you're sitting there going like, well, what if, you know, the border's still closed or that kind of stuff, Scentsy typically always makes everything right. If it's something like travel is open and people choose not to go, I don't know if that's going to be an option. That's all here or there later on for tomorrow to worry about. But just keep that in mind too. So it's not like, you know, we worked to earn this trip, 2 of them, and then they never happened and we didn't kind of receive anything for them. We got a very generous cash payout for the ones that we weren't able to attend due to border closures. Okay, so the Marco Island trip that I earned, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I started the trip incentive, I went back in my reports right now, I was a lead consultant. So if you're sitting here right now and you're a certified consultant or a lead consultant or a star consultant, and you're like, oh, I can't do this, I'm not like a top leader, I earned it as a lead consultant. So this was the 2019 trip. So it would have started August of 2018. I was a lead consultant on August 1st, and coming out of it, I was a star consultant. Then the next one that I earned, the cruise, I was already a director when we started that one, and I came out of it a director. So I've earned 3 trips with only 1 promotion within the trips. So I went from lead to star during the one. So I promoted to superstar consultant and director outside of a trip incentive period, which most people will be like, oh, that sucks. But I like to look at it as like, hey, I've barely had any promotions during these periods and I've still managed to earn the trip. All it takes is making a plan, helping your team, and making sure that you're committed to making it happen. So Marco Island 2019, again, I started as a lead consultant, I earned for 1. The Stars at Sea Bermuda cruise, I earned for 1 as well. I had enough points overall for the cruise for 2, but I didn't have enough sponsoring points. And after that happening, that's when I decided, I was like, that's it. I'm starting to sponsor more. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I am doing this. So that was a big kind of light bulb for me. So then the next year, the Scentsy Family Incentive Disney trip where you could earn for yourself and up to 5 people, I earned for 3, which was a huge, huge, huge goal for me. And I was very excited to go on that and take my sister-in-law and my best friend. But then we couldn't travel, which it actually ended up working out because my sister-in-law ended up, like, she's pregnant and having my second nephew, so she wouldn't have been able to come anyways. And my best friend, who was also going to come with me, wasn't going to be able to get it off of work. So things work out how they work out. It is what it is. And again, with that incentive, I started out as a star director, and at the end of it, I was still a star director. So I didn't have any promotion points within that one as well. Because I know that a lot of people are like, oh no, I promoted not during an incentive period. And I'm a perfect example that that doesn't have to affect you. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Which screen? Hold on, I'm going to put your beautiful faces over here so that I can see the chat. And I am going to, first we're going to go through Workstation. I hope that most of you have reviewed Workstation and what's required. Screen 1, share. Okay. So everyone can see my screen now? if you have your nod. I was like, somebody nod. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm just going, nope, that's not me. As you can see, I've had many consultants logging on my computer. Okay. So when you go into workstation, you go to the incentive tab here. And this is kind of all about it. So there is a trip for region 1, region 2, and region 3. If you earn a trip and there is space permitting on another region's trip and you want to go, you can go to the other region's trip. You just have to obviously fly yourself there. Like Sensi will give us a flight credit. So you would just kind of have to cover the rest of that. And again, that's space permitting. So our trip for region 1 is an Alaskan cruise, which I'm not gonna lie, I never had an Alaskan cruise on my bucket list. And then I started seeing some of these pictures, like who doesn't want to see a bear eating a fish like that? Like crazy. So yeah, so ours is the Alaskan cruise. We also have the top 75. So top 75 of all consultants will earn the Netherlands and Belgium river cruise, which again, I know people are like, oh, you have to be a top leader to do that. You don't have to be a top leader to do that. I've seen people earn the top 50 that, you know, started the incentive as a superstar consultant, stuff like that. I should actually see if I can get stats on that of like top 50 and like their titles and that kind of stuff. But again, you don't have to be a top leader. You just have to bust your butt and really, really want it during this trip incentive period. So level 1. So Sensi Family Reunion, fingers crossed, is going to be in person in Salt Lake City during June, at the end of June of 2022. So I know that we just had the online version, which is amazing. It was great for all consultants to kind of be able to take part even from home, but we hopefully will be back in person. And let me tell you, I went to my first and only Sensi Family Reunion. It was pretty much just this week of 2019, and all the memories coming up in my feed are like, oh my gosh, okay, I remember how amazing this was, all the people being all together, lots of Sensi hugs, all that fun stuff. So hopefully we'll be back to normal. So earning level 1 you can do without any sponsoring points. So this is the only level that you can earn without having any teammates. And it's 18,000 points, which seems like a lot, and without teammates, like that's a lot to sell. So like 6 months. So that's like 3,000 PRV a month for the 6 months. It's a lot, but it can be done if you wanted to. And I know that the registration for like streaming Sensi Family Reunion was only like $11 or $15 USA Canadian. But the in-person registration, I feel like last time was around like $400. So that's a big, you know, prize that you can earn there. You can also, level 2 begins the actual cruise earning. So you need 25,000 total points, including 4,500 sponsoring points. And we're going to go over what qualifies as sponsoring points later. And level 3 is 45,000 points, including 8,000 sponsor points. And that's a cruise for yourself and one guest. And then of everybody who earns level 3, the people who are top 75 in that will earn the Netherlands and Belgium cruise. By all means, if you earn the Netherlands cruise and you want to go on the Alaskan cruise, you can do that. And if you earn the cruise, the Alaskan cruise, and don't want to go on that, but want to get like your full trip for Sensi Family Reunion paid for, so like your travel, your accommodations, like that kind of thing, you can trade your Alaskan cruise for Sensi Family Reunion instead, which is pretty cool. So it gives you lots of options if, you know, dates don't work out for you or something like that. Okay, so the track your progress button here is awesome. They have it already ready to go. Any points that you got in the spring incentive, the keep going, keep growing, are already in here. And again, I earned level 1. I barely earned level 1. So again, another example that like not everybody earns top level of every single incentive, and it was a little hard for me this time, but it was okay. It just made me work that much harder, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. So let's get into how to earn. So first things first, as soon as you do anything and any of this stuff happens, it automatically goes into your trip tracker. The trip tracker, I believe, updates 1 time per day overnight. So you will see that it won't update, doesn't update every hour, kind of like Workstation does. So you will get 1 point for every PRV that you have. So if you sell 2,000 PRV in a month, you'll get 2,000 points just from that PRV. If you sell 20 PRV, you'll get 20 points, and so on and so forth. Also, PRV consistency, there's an opportunity of 2,500 points. So you need to get 1,000 PRV per month for 5 out of 6 months. So personally, because I always like to make my goals higher than what we're going for. So if you make your goal, to sell 1,500 to 2,000 PRV a month, just to make sure you get that minimum 1,000, and you get that 5 out of the 6 months, on top of getting, say you got exactly 1,000 every month, so that would be 6,000 PRV right there. You would also get this 2,500 bonus PRV, which would give you 8,500 points, which is awesome, just for sponsoring right there. I'm gonna check the chat, and does anyone have any questions about the PRV earning and the PRV consistency? No. Yes, no, maybe so. I don't think so. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna move this because right now my chat is blocking some faces. All right, so that should be pretty clear there. Next, we go to promotions. So if you promote to a new title during the incentive period, you do receive points based on your title here. So if you're starting as an essential consultant and you promote to certified, you will get 1,000 points. Doesn't matter when you enrolled with Sensi, if you're still an essential consultant, when you promote, you will get that. And so on and so forth. You promote to lead, star, superstar. So these are points based on your own personal promotions, depending on what title you promote to. And if you promote to, say, from essential consultant to certified lead and star, so you would get the what's that, to 20, so 4,500 total points, because you'd get each level as you promote. Does that make sense? Anyone? Okay, let me know in the chat if that doesn't make sense so that I can help out with that. Also, based on your own paid at title every month, you get points for that as well. So you get points for the rank that you are paid at during the month. So say if you're a star consultant, but you only get paid at lead consultant for a month, you will still get points. You'll just only get the lead consultant level of points. So whatever rank that you are paid at during the period for that month, you will get it. So even if you're a director and you're paid at superstar consultant, you would get 500 points. It's not like if you're not paid at your title, you get 0 points. So it is still good to work your way through that. So again, each month you would get, and this is not like the promotions one, they don't go on top of each other. It's whatever you're paid at the end of the month, you get that amount of points. So if you started as a lead consultant and you promote to star consultant during the month, you don't get 300 and 100, you just get the star consultant points for that month. And you get these activity points each month. So if you are a director and you're paid at director every single month for the 6 months, you'll get 6,000 points just from that right there. Let me know if there's any confusion on that as well. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, sponsoring points. This is where you can earn a ton of points. And these are the special points that will help you earn the cruise versus the level 1 being the family reunion registration. So if you currently have consultants that were enrolled before August 1st and they're essential consultants and they promote to certified, you will get 250 points if it's obviously their first time promoting. So if you have someone who is a reinstatement, who was a certified consultant before, you wouldn't receive points for them. If you have someone who, let's see, what else would it qualify for that? Who, well, no, because they would have already promoted. You don't get like paid at a different title when you're certified, so that's okay. So that's one's pretty easy peasy. So anyone who's already on your team who hasn't promoted to certified yet, reach out to those people, and like not in like a creepy way, like, hey, I want to earn a trip, like, will you certify to do this for me? Like, obviously we work as a team, we rise our boats together. What I plan on doing is talking to each of my teammates, hey, did you see the trip incentive? I'm super excited about it, which I am. And last year, I think my goal was to help 5 people on our team earn, and there were 7 of us. The year before, I wanted to help 1 person other than myself, and there were 3 of us all together. And so this year, my goal is to help at least 10 people on our team earn the incentive, at least like level the trip, so level 2 or above. For like the whole incentive, like level 1 and everything, like my goal is for 50 total. So if you're on the team, just know I'm gonna help you do it by doing stuff like this. Because when you make a plan, you know, the whole, like, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail or something like that. No plan is a plan to fail, or whatever that quote is, because I'm not that great at plans and goals and that kind of stuff. But when it comes to these trips, when I break it down by person and by, you know, points area, it scares me a lot less. So don't think of this as goals if you're someone like me and has trouble goal setting. This is like an attack plan without a bear attack. So if you enroll anyone starting August 1st, so from Sunday on, that obviously they're a new consultant, they come on in as essential consultant and they promote to certified during the trip period. So between August 1st and January 31st, you will get 1,000 points for each certified consultant. So you will get 1,000 points. Also, that person who joins and becomes a certified consultant will get their own 1,000 points right there as well. So it's like everything that we do to help our teammates both helps them and helps us. And that's one of the things that I love about the Sensi trip incentives, is that you can't earn it on your own. You can earn Sensi family reunion registration, but you can't earn the trip on your own without helping somebody else. So that's one of the things that I love, because it really brings all of us together. And I really do love helping people earn these trips, because I know when I earned my first one, it was like the best feeling in the entire world. Even the two that I earned that I couldn't go on, getting that paycheck from it was also the best feeling in the entire world. So I just know that feeling, and I love helping others feel the same way. So now, what's different with this trip incentive than the last one is we have even more opportunity for points in this section. So last year, you only got, well, not only got, like generously got 1,000 points for each frontline consultant who promotes to lead and star. That was last year. So if somebody promoted to superstar director that was your frontline, you didn't get any points for that. You only did for lead and star. This year, you get points for people who promote to lead, star, superstar, and director in your frontline. So people you've either sponsored or that have rolled up to you within the incentive period, or who reinstated as with you as their sponsor and had never promoted to these titles before. So again, these are first-time promotion titles. So, and these don't have to be people that come on during the incentive period. They can have come on at any time, anywhere, anywho, and they come on your team now, or they're already on your team and they promote to these titles for the very first time, and they will get incentive points, as well as you will get incentive points for all 4 of those titles. So if you say bring on a new consultant who gets certified and hits lead, you, depending on your title, will likely promote, and they will get promotion points. So when they come on and certify, you'll get 1,000 points. And they go to lead consultant, you'll get another 1,000 points. So that's 2,000 sponsoring points of the 4,500 that you need for the cruise for one, just right there from bringing on one new person. Or if you already have maybe, you know, 5 or 6 people on your team who haven't quite hit certified yet, and they all hit certified, you get 250 points for each of those people. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's that? 1,500 points just there if those 6 people certify. So there's little things that you can do all throughout. Are you the only weirdo who doesn't like to travel? I wouldn't say that it's weirdo. I didn't really like to travel before, mostly because like it was exhausting. Like I only got so much vacation time from work. And if I had vacation time for work, I wanted to spend it on a beach doing absolutely nothing. But then I went on one of these incentive trips and it was like, whoa, like the experiences that Sensi gives us are things like you can't ever experience, like having Disney closed other than just to like your people. Like when do you ever experience that? Not too often. It's stuff like that, which is really cool. And by all means, if you don't like travel, again, like I said, when the border was closed, they gave us a cash payout, which was quite generous. So like Lisa, if you want to bank on that, that, you know, you could be earning a trip or you could be earning like a huge cash payout. Why not, right? Because who knows what'll happen by next year. So the trip payout definitely helps soften this thing. And I mean, the trip incentive is just an extra bonus on top of your paycheck. Even just doing all of this stuff to grow your team, to grow your paycheck is going to benefit you. The trip is just an extra like icing on the cake. Like when I used to go to my 9 to 5 and I like busted butt and did crazy awesome things, like I didn't get anything extra on top of my paycheck. My paycheck didn't change either. Like, the worst business model ever. I was like, this is BS. Like, get me out of here. Which I have managed to do now, which is pretty cool, which is why I have time to do things during the day for wonderful people like yourselves. Okay, so this at the bottom is super helpful. We didn't have this in the beginning when I was doing stuff. So if you can kind of look at a trip plan based on your starting title. So right now, if you're a certified consultant, they kind of break out like, here's the stuff kind of you would want to do to get yourself the trip. Now, I know that for some 2000 PRV can sound like a lot, especially if you only put in a little bit, but here's the deal. So with 2000 PRV, you get an extra 5% bonus, which personally, I am Canadian. So that is an automatic, almost $800 paycheck every month. Every month. It's an extra, like, what is it? So 2000 times 0.05. So that's an extra $100 US, an extra $132 Canadian per month, just for the difference between 1,999 PRV and 2000 PRV, which can be a big difference. And if you break it down into way less scary goals, so there's 31 days in August, so divided by 31, so that's selling 65 PRV a day. So that's like just over 2 6-packs of wax. So if you kind of break down your customer list and kind of follow up with people every day, like a different person every day, or, you know, hit Facebook Marketplace, or, you know, different groups that you're involved in to try to get new people, you know, into your customer base. That's very exciting as well. I've done a bunch of videos on building your customer base. I know that I've posted them to Flameless Rockstars. I also have another group that I've posted them in, so maybe I'll post those reminders in Flameless Rockstars of the videos that I've done before of how things I do to expand my customer base, because I don't want to make this video too long. But again, take a look at this and you can build out a plan. I'm also going to share with you, probably in the links of the YouTube video and in Flameless Rockstars. So one thing I love about Scentsy is that everybody shares. It's amazing. So one of the awesome things that someone shared is this kind of, I ran out of color ink, so I had to really hard to. It's on its way. HP Instant Ink is on my BS list right now, because I've had no color ink for like a week and a half, and I think I might die. Okay, so if you are a paper and pen person, this is a great way to, you know, go and fill out. I don't know if you can see mine. So fill out all kind of the consultants on your team and then new people. And then I like to block out like where I couldn't earn points because they've already earned stuff. And then I put squares around places where I think they might earn, and then just kind of total it out and build out your plan for the trip. Because if you focus on all of the things that earn you trip points and continue to just focus on those things that earn you trip points, A, your team is going to explode, your paycheck is going to explode, and B, you're going to get closer and closer as you go to this trip. So when you break it down into little stuff like this, it is nowhere near as scary, personally. Now, so this has 2 pages to it. So if you have like more consultants than that, I personally am a spreadsheet person, but I wanted to show you the paper version first because I have a tendency of scaring people with my spreadsheets. So I can also share with you a template of this incentive tracker and planner that I made, that essentially, you know, you put your teammates' names here and then build out where your points would be through here, and it automatically calculates stuff for you. If this scares you, ignore it. Got paper for you. If I show Cassandra a spreadsheet, she looks at me cross-eyed, but if I were to show her this, she's happy as a clam. So everybody is different. Everybody is different. Every time I get all techie on her, she like kind of looks at me cross-eyed, which I don't blame her, because sometimes I don't even understand myself. See, something else I can help with. Siri doesn't even understand. Siri, stay out of this. So yeah, I'll share both versions of these with you that you can build out your plan in this. And again, if you earned keep growing incentive points, level 1, 2, or 3, they can't count automatically this year towards sponsoring points, which is amazing. So you would have earned either 3,000, 1,500, or 500 points through that incentive as well. That will count towards this, which is pretty exciting as well. So yeah, I like to build out, like, this is my minimum targets, and I have another one here for like my stretch goals. So like a big goal for me is to hit superstar director this year. But we need 2 more directors on our team. So it's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch because we don't have anybody right now above star consultant, but it could happen. So I kind of built it out as well if we were to promote to superstar director. And that's kind of when I would be shooting for, things like top 75 and that kind of stuff, because that's an extra 10,000 promotion points, which is really exciting. So yeah, don't have to do any of those things. I do recommend making some kind of a plan at least, or at least knowing who your teammates are, what their goals are, what they're shooting for this fall. That's what you can do and have those conversations so that you can build out your trip plan rather than just going like, okay, maybe this person will do this and this person will do that. Having those conversations and working with your frontline on a regular basis to know what their goals are so you can help them achieve them is really what's going to help you make this plan. Because if you talk to them and they're like, no, like I don't plan on doing anything, I have no goals for the fall, that kind of thing, then you can pretty much bank on them not doing much. But if you have, consultants right now that are actively working their business and, are working to promote, like taking their goals and then being able to put that into your plan, and you help them hit their goals and it helps you hit their goals. That's kind of how that works through there. I feel like I have a lot more to go over, but I also feel like that's it. So let me know if you have questions, or if any of the points are confusing. I know in the beginning it was really confusing to me. As you start to do stuff and focus on things, it becomes a lot easier. So essentially, even if you just focus on sales, because you want PRV, and at least 1,000 PRV a month, because that'll get you that 2,500 PRV consistency. And being at least paid at title, if not promoting, because that'll get you points as well. And then recruiting and helping people promote. So helping people you already have on your team promote, helping people that you bring onto your team hit certified and promote. Like, it's just, if you don't understand the points, as long as you focus on those things, which are things that we already kind of should be focusing on a regular basis, then you will go and you will grow. And it makes it a lot less confusing, especially because it's like, you pretty much any promotion up to director that someone gets, you get points for, as well as they. I mean, they get points all the way up to superstar director, but it's pretty stinking cool, in my opinion. Like, I was a little bit worried this year, especially with not only getting level 1 of the first incentive, because that is still a really big achievement. I'm just very hard on myself sometimes. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like sponsoring points. What am I going to do? And then once I saw this with, we get them for lead, star, superstar, and director, I was like, okay, we got this. I exhaled big, because that's an extra huge amount of opportunity for points, especially for a team like myself, where, a bunch of my rock stars have already hit star consultant, and, I want to help them get to director. I was like, okay, well, we'll get them to director, but I probably won't get sponsoring points. But this still works out amazing. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions in here. Hopefully I helped to simplify this for you. By all means, feel free to comment on wherever you got the link to this from. If it was in Flameless Rockstars, if you're on my team and it was in our communication group on Band. If you have any questions for me, feel free to post them. There's also a really, really helpful FAQ in here that pretty much answers any question you could ever have. But if you still have any questions, by all means, feel free to message me. I'm super duper excited and I really want to help. And I'd love to know, because I don't necessarily know every single one of you that's on this call. So as the incentive goes and, as you get closer to earning and that kind of stuff, I'd love to know if things that you learned here helped you. And sorry, ADHD, I get distracted. Yeah, so feel free to message me with your progress as you're going, as you get new teammates, as you earn those sponsoring points. Super, super exciting. These are a big deal. And not only Sensi does stuff like this because they're not just oh, we want to make everybody, it's not even compete for a trip, because you're not competing, really, you're only competing against yourself, other than that top 75 trip. It's just, you earn it, you get it. It's another thing that I love about Sensi. you're doing things like growing your team like this with these sponsoring points that are gonna benefit you in the end. Like looking at, hold on, when I built out here, like kind of what I earned and where I came from. So the momentum that I had from what our team did during earning this Miracle Island incentive then brought us, between the two incentive periods. So in 6 months from star consultant to superstar consultant to director, because the end of this is 6 months away from the start of this one. Actually, I think it was 5 months because we started earlier. No, that was the year after. So, right. And then the momentum that you keep getting through each of these incentives continues to help your team to grow and grow and grow. And that's only going to benefit you. A, it's going to help your teammates. And B, it's going to benefit yourself as well, because when we rise all boats, everyone rises together, which, excuse me, is another thing that I absolutely love and adore about Sensi, is that we all work together. Like, you can't do stuff on your own. You can become a certified consultant on your own, but other than that, you can't do much on your own. And well, I can't, sorry. It's way more fun if you do it together. Let's leave it at that. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Get back to your lovely faces here. There we go. So yeah, so hopefully that helped to clarify some stuff for you. Again, if you still have questions, feel free to reach out. And hopefully this helps make things a little less scary for you. And if it made it more scary, I'm sorry, but reach out to me and maybe we'll clarify some stuff, because breaking it down like this should make it way less scary. Should. Or maybe it's that like fear of success thing of, what if I actually earned a trip? Like, would I have to go on the trip, Lisa, right? Because if you don't like to travel, right? So I know that's one of my big things, is fear of success gets in my way sometimes, because it's like, okay, wait, what if I reach my goal? Then, what do I do then? So stuff like that. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that helped. And again, reach out if you have more questions, and good luck during the incentive. Bye, everyone.